About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line.
10 cycles.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? When you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Black open. Yellow blue. Ready?
He'll look to throw. Right side, Thornton with it. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He'll take it inside the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On the ready?
With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Looking deep for Bennett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyquan Thornton, 54 yards. And the Falcons continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now Wilson on 1st down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and 11. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away. So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson, he'll let this go deep for Sutton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll look to throw here. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Tyquan Thornton, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Again, Wilson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Hands it off out of the gun. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They go play action now. Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the 1st time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Play action. It's Wilson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. Hey, let's go double count right here. Double count. Go on, man. Go on, man.
They go play action with Wilson. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Play action. Now Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. He's at the 40. 30, the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Well, there you go, from red zone to red zone on that fumble return. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they get the 3 points, but they've now had 3 trips into the red zone, and that's all they've come away with.
And in the NFL, the way they measure red zone efficiency and success, to just score touchdowns on those drives. That's first and foremost. Getting points, that's the second measurement. So by that measure, they haven't done very well. They've got to figure that out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
52 blaster.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10.
Throw, 52.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They'll set up a throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception's really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Harris. Room here to run. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2nd and 6. Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And now here is another interception. It's Tariq Castro Fields who picked it. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
It's been a fun one through 3. It always is. The final quarter of Super Bowl 62 is coming your way.
Here we go, set. Triple 38. Ready, set.
They go play action here on first down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL. It's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I'll tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nick Bonito buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's got it reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us. I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
A quick throw caught out wide by Judy.
Now the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On third down, Wilson. Looking deep for Bennett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Slot man moves right. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
Right, 97, right blue.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in.
Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? What a crazy situation we just saw there. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Wilson.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And my goodness, another interception.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to...
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
From the 29, Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Albert O.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
36 power.
Now Wilson.
That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Good job right there. Good job right there. 25, 25. Wilson, team. Hey, 0, 0, 0.
On first down, Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's got his target, Harris.
Down inside the 10.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson keeping it himself from a yard out.
And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Wilson going to throw for it. And this is caught, so they do give the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The slot man in motion right. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. That ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And it's over. The Lombardi Trophy belongs to the Falcons. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons are the Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, heart in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we not the ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grr,
trust, been taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog with your leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when we ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful the people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut seeing both of my pockets. Me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gonna know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous. You know what's up? You know what's up? You pretend, you don't lie, you don't be gang. You know what's up?
Tracy, we going crazy. We at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get Swayze. I just got off with a jet and I cry. I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Chirac, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Buju Banton, I hop in the Bama, the world is mine. I'm Tony Montana, I'm Pelican Fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980, Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, what a drums at.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Cubone staying with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, give me pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce the juice. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.